So, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to put the packages in the thumbnail or not, but hopefully the feedback from my husband's television, because I decided to record up here instead of going down to the demolished recording room that still has not been taken care of, and film up here, and instead of being in my room. So, yeah, put a face on. How does it look? Got the whole dark eye going. Yes. You know, poofy hair, living in my 90s fabulousness of curls and, yes, I think it's cute. I like it. So this week has not been very eventful. Kiddo had like 3 days off and we really didn't do very much. I did a live for you guys again, and a couple people rewatched the replay. But I had more of a topic this week as well. So if you're interested in what the topic is, go check that out. It is up for you guys to watch whenever you want. And yeah, as of recording this, I still hadn't put out the weekly reels put together either. So that tells you how much I didn't do much today at all whatsoever. And it's Sunday. But I did put a face on. And we're going to open these boxes so you guys can see what I got. This should be the second book in the Okorth series that I am currently reading. Come on. Okay, there's a little loop-de-loop thing. Or maybe I'm just going to take some handy-dandy scissors and take a whack at it. Hopefully I don't damage this book, because I would be very mad. Trying not to break a nail is what I'm trying not to do. So I can definitely just snag that up. And it's here. This is the second book in the 5 crowns of Okorth that I am reading, The Witch's Blade. This is a fantasy read, and it's taking me a little bit longer, but the first one took me longer as well. This one follows a different princess in the High Mountain Court, and we get to see the new trials and tribulations. I'm enjoying this. There are some dark themes in here. Let me see where's the triggers at. Because I know, okay, so there are violence, torture, addiction, and loss, as well as some sexually explicit scenes within this novel. I'm definitely hitting some torture and violence already, and I'm enjoying it, but it is taking me a little bit longer to read. And then I am going to Indies Invade Philly on the 13th, so this Saturday coming up. And you guys will probably get a vlog for that. So I had to pick up some books that I didn't pre-order from the authors prior to. And one of those books is Wounded Kiss by Willow Winters. Then I also got... I normally just buy my books from Michelle A. Valentine when I get there, but she posted that she was having some issues with printing and things like that. So I got a copy of Rebellious and Reckless by Michelle. Then I got the second book in Willow's series, Gentle Scars, which is the second book in her werewolf shifter vampires. Oh, goodness, such goodness. So I got that one. And then I got Michelle's newest release of The Right One so that she can sign it, as well as Chaos and Love by Michelle, which is, I think this is the first book, and then the other one was the second book. The third book wasn't available in paperback yet. So I have these to get signed on Saturday. Yay, so excited. Are you excited to see my vlog from the trip? Let me know in our comments and things like that. So let's Let me unstack this. And then let's get to the books that I did read last week, which weren't very many because, like I said, not very many, not very much was going on. I think I'm really motivated when kiddo is not in the house to read. So I read 4 books, and I started the week off by finishing Small Town King, which is Carlisle Sellers, number 3 by Fabiola Francisco, placing it into contemporary. Give it 4.25 stars. Give it 2 Steam fans. Read it as an ARC. It is available for you guys to go check out already. It's a small town single dad romance. There are content warnings for PTSD, therapy, trauma, and doctor client stickiness. Yeah, there's that. But Brett is our oldest brother in this family of winemakers. He is taking on all of the roles for the winery, the revamping of it after the fire. If you've read the rest of the series, then you know what the fire is. And he's taking care of his daughters that were sort of traumatized with the fire because they were involved in the fire. And one of them has more trauma than the other, so it's their journey. And before the fire, there was the loss of a parent, so we're dealing with that, and loss of a spouse, so we're dealing with all of that in this story. And I love the way that Fabiola ended up taking this approach to it, and I really enjoyed the story. The only thing that I didn't particularly care for was that our female character, Magnolia, our doctor and therapist, she had some, she was doing some parental support of her own, and that storyline kind of melted into the story, and it just didn't fit for me. I thought it was kind of like it didn't make any sense to me. I mean, I understood it, but it didn't help the flow of the story. It kind of bogged down the story. That's where I was getting at. The next book that I finished was The Roommate Risk by Talia Hibbert, placing this in contemporary. I actually DNF'd this at 25%, and I would have given it 2 stars. It's really sexy, so 4 Steam fans. I had this as an audiobook, and maybe that is where the fault lies, because the audiobook narrator was horrible. Hated that audiobook narrator. She didn't have a dual narrator, and it was a 2-person sort of story. So we have Jasmine, who has had trauma in her childhood with the abandonment of a parent, and she now uses alcohol and sex to sort of coat those wounds. And then we have Raul, and he is the guy friend that she ends up going to after she has sort of an event that happens with her current living situation. And there was a lot of back and forth, and like I said, one single narrator that did a horrible job. I did not like the narrator at all whatsoever, and it was just it was insufferable. That's what my note says. It was insufferable. But yeah, then there's all those content warnings. So I have heard good things about this book, but obviously the people that read it didn't use the audiobook to make it through. Eek. I might try and go back and read it with my eyeballs, but I don't know. I don't know. I didn't feel for any of the I didn't feel like I wanted to hear about either one of these characters. And I was just like, he seemed like a doormat. She seemed insufferable, and just, no, couldn't do it. Next, we have Twisted Games, which is Twisted Love, I think the series is called. Book number 2 by Anna Huang. This is a dark romance, or at least that's where I am placing it. Give it 4 stars, give it 4 Steam fans. Had it as an ebook through Kindle Unlimited, and this is a forbidden bodyguard client romance. And if you have read Twisted Love, then you know who Bridget is. Bridget is the princess of this country, and this is her and Rice's story. She's a princess, and then come to find out queen to be, and he's the bodyguard that is a former Navy SEAL, and he takes his job oh so seriously. And, you feel their vibes in book one. You know that they have vibes. And then this is their story. So part one starts their story before the ending of book one, and then it quickly moves through. And then you have I don't even remember if there was like a announcement for part two, but the second half of the book, or three-fourths of the book, was about them and their sort of navigation of, do we or don't we? Oh, it's so bad. Let's sneak around. And, then she comes to find out that she has to become queen, and her laws in her country are antiquated, and she has to be married and all this other BS, and has to be marriage of noble blood. And so, totally foreshadows the supposed twist in the story. And it was just like, ah. And it's like almost 500 pages long. So I'm like, you could have cut out a whole bunch of this middle crap that was just like thrown in here just because. It's like, oh, do we really need that other sex scene? They're sneaking around. No, we didn't. We didn't. I'm sorry. It was a sexy book, and it was good, but at the same time, it didn't need to be as long. Didn't need to be as long as it was. Whew. Then the final book that I finished reading last week was Needle in a Time Stack and Other Stories, which I didn't do the other stories, by Robert Silverberg. And this is a sci-fi book of short stories. I'm giving the story itself Needle in a Time Stack, which I read because the movie with Cynthia Erivo and um, I think it's Odom. Is Odom Jr. I can't remember his first name, but I'll put like a thing here, as well as oh my goodness, he's married to Katy Perry. I can't think of his name. This guy right here. And they're in this movie that you can't find anywhere, by the way. But the trailer for this movie looked really interesting. And I was like, ooh, maybe I want to read the book that it's inspired by. You know what? The story that inspired this movie is only an hour long. And that was on audiobook. Yeah, it wasn't good. It wasn't good. So I'm wondering if the 2-minute trailer, is the best parts of the movie. Because, yeah, real interesting. Real interesting. So we have a long list of things that I will be currently reading, or that I am currently reading, that I will be trying to read this week. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. Although a lot of these books are in audiobook format, because I got a little ambitious with my Hoopla credits and didn't want them to just like go away. So I got a whole bunch of audiobooks from my Hoopla through my library. So I will be reading with my eyes The Witch's Blade by A.K. Mulford. Then I got Hard Love by Peyton Banks. How could I not get that out? Peyton Banks. My Darling Duke by Stacy Reid. Wall Street Titan by Anna Zaires. Then I went down a Adriana Herrera, like, massive dive, and got Mangles and Mistletoe, One Walk to Claim It All, Just for the Holidays, all by Adriana Herrera. Then I got When Christmas Wish by Brenda Jackson. I got Back in the Burbs by Tracey Wolff and Avery Flynn. Then I also had an ARC, as well as got the audiobook, because for some reason it really seems like I got this book and then it released like like a super short time frame, but I got A Not So Meet Cute by Meghan Quinn, which I have already actually started, and it's so funny. I'm really, really enjoying it. And then we have Sweeper by Amy Daws, which I will be seeing this weekend at Indies Invade Philly. I didn't actually get an ARC for it, so I had to wait until it came out. And being that I had to wait, I have to now read it with my eyeballs because the audiobook doesn't come out until late November, early December. Sad. Makes me very sad. But I'll be listening to it again when it does come out in audiobook because I love Amy's audiobooks. Love them. Love them. So those are the things that I read last week as well as what I have going on this week. It's a lot of listening, which is what we're going to be doing. Other than that, thank you guys for hanging around with me, and I will see you in another video.